Hi everyone. In this video we will learn how to uh, use Python for automation projects. So our first project that we are going to look at is the unzipping of multiple files in a folder using Python. So let's get started. Now we are going to do this in 3 steps. So what do we need to do for unzipping a folder in Python? First we'll learn how to unzip files using Python. Second, we'll learn to list all the files in a folder using Python. And then third, we'll combine steps 1 and 2 using a for loop to get to our objective. Now let us look at the first step, which is how to unzip a single file using Python. I'll switch to my code editor, which is PyCharm in this case. So I've opened a new project in PyCharm. Let's add a new file. We'll name this file unzip.py, right? So new Python file. Let's rename it to unzip.py. To unzip a file using Python, we need to import the inbuilt zip file module. So let's do that right away. Import the zip file module. So from zip file, import zip file. And here the zip Z and F are capital. Now the second module that we are going to import is the OS module for this. So import OS. So now we'll go to the folder where our zip file is located. So let's go there. This is on my desktop, and if I want to see this, let's say I want to unzip this unzip1.zip file. So I will select this and I will copy the path of this zip file. So copy just for our reference. And let's go back to our PyCharm. The next step is loading the zip file and creating a zip object. With zip file, and here we have to give the folder that we copied. Let's go there and once again copy this. Let's go back to our. So in Python we need to put double slashes when we are using Windows. Comma R, and we can call this as Z object. Now we need to extract a specific file in the zip folder. And we also need to specify the path where we want to extract this file. The next step is to extract the zip file object using the z_object.extractAll function. Okay, so let's do that. We will write z_object.extractAll, and we will specify the path where we want to extract this particular file. Okay, so let's extract it in the same folder. I'll just copy it from the above. We will extract it in the parent folder, right? And the last step is to close the object. So z_object.close. All right, now let's run this. So we've made a minor mistake with 2 double quotes. Now let's run it once again. And we see that the process has been finished with exit code 0. Let's go back to our folder. If we see here, the folder has been created with the extracted file, and now we can double click on the file to see the file has already been extracted. Alright, this is just some lorem ipsum for our test project. So this completes the first step which we wanted to do, which was to try and unzip a file using the Python zip file module. Now let's go to the next step. The next step was to list all the files in the folder so that we can extract all the files. For that, we need to create a list with the names of all the files in the folder. Let's see how to use the OS module in Python to list all the files in the folder. Let's switch back to PyCharm, and for this part we are going to do it in a new Python file. So let's do that. We'll call it listfiles.py. For listing of files, we need to use the inbuilt OS module of Python, right? First we'll import OS. The next step is to get the list of all the files and directories in a particular folder. So for this we need to define the path. Again, our path will be the folder that we are looking at. In our case, that folder is the unzip files project, the unzip project folder. Let's open that. Here we have unzipped this file. We'll delete it just to keep it neat and clean. And now we'll copy the path. Right click, click on copy, and now we can paste the path here. Again, we have to make sure that these paths are created using the double backslash method for Windows. Sorry, this is OneDrive, desktop, and unzip project. The next path is to create a variable called directory list, and this will use a function listdir, and here we have to give the path, which is our path, and that's it. We need to now just print the files in the folder. So files and directories in lastly print all files, which will be in our directory list variable, so dir list. Let's run this. So we've encountered a mistake here, and that is one of the part and parcel of our programming life. Here I've renamed it incorrectly, so it should be OneDrive. Alright, let's run this again. So here, if we in the terminal, we can see that there are three files here: unzip1.zip, unzip2.zip, and unzip3.zip. So we have been successfully able to list all the files in a particular folder. Now the third step is to combine steps 1 and 2 using a for loop to achieve the objective of unzipping all the files in a particular folder. So let's do that. Let's switch back to our PyCharm. So for this, we need to create another file in our folder, which is list and unzip files. Here we are going to combine the two steps that we have already done. So let's do that. I'll go to unzip. Here I'm going to copy this two commands. From zip file, import zip file, and then again import OS. Now we are going to copy the path of that particular folder. So here we have already defined our path. Let me just copy this, paste it here, and then let's do this directory list of files. So we will use the dir list variable that we created in the last part of our video, and we'll just use that. We need to somehow create a counter of all the files available. So we know that in our unzip project folder there are only 3 unzip files, but that may not be the case always. So we'll just create a counter and we'll initialize it with the value of 1, right? Next step, we will create a for loop. So we will say for file in dir list with zip file, and our path would be path plus and the file name would be file, comma, and the read mode as z object. We'll say z object dot extract all, and here we'll have to give path equal to path. It will extract all the files in that particular folder to this particular location, which is our unzip project file folder, right? And then we need to close the z object dot close. Finally, we need to increase our counter also. So for example, counter, or we can say counter plus equal to 1. Let's try and run this. We'll see if there are any errors. So here it says the process is finished with exit code 0, which means our file has been successfully unzipped. Let's go to that particular folder, and here we see that all the 3 folders have been successfully unzipped. Alright, thank you so much for watching this video. In this video we learned how to unzip a particular file, then list all the files, and then list and unzip files using a for loop. It's important to understand the logic also when we are coding, and it is important to break your tasks into smaller tasks so that we can easily achieve this. So our ultimate goal of listing and unzipping of files was broken into 3 steps, and when we combined all these 3 steps, we were easily able to achieve our objective. Thanks again so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.